Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. If you guys are new, my name's Liz. For today's video, I have some Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs, so let's go ahead and jump right in. For this DIY, you are going to take 2 of these wood arrows and a large popsicle stick. I'm going to start by taking some wood filler and just filling in those holes in the side and letting that dry. Once it's dry, you are going to take some sandpaper and sand those down flat. I'm going to take some of this voodoo gel stain from Dixie, Belle, and I'm just going to use that all over the front, the sides, and the back. I also took a piece of a 1x2 that you can actually get from the Dollar Tree. They come in a couple different sizes, and I just cut 2 of them down to be a little bit longer than the width of those arrows. And then you'll also stain your large popsicle stick. You can use any size of popsicle stick for this if you would like. They do carry some at the Dollar Tree, or you can go to Walmart and pick up these jumbo sized ones for only a couple of dollars. Now I'm going to take some of this crackle medium. This is from Folk Art. I believe that I got this from either Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. Anywhere where they carry Folk Art, you can use it. And I'm just taking a brush, dipping it in that crackle medium, and then doing strokes on my arrows. I tried to do as little strokes as I possibly could. Obviously, I still did quite a bit and it still worked out great. So you're just going to do up and down strokes on both of your arrows, and you're also going to do the same thing to your 1x2 bases. Once that is completely dry, you want to make sure that you let it dry thoroughly. You can apply your top coat, and for this I used my Waverly chalk paint in white, and I just did 1 good coat over the entire thing, so for both of my arrows and for both of my 1x2 bases. Now, as those dry, they create this crackly, look to them. I think that it looks really, really fun, and I love how rustic and aged it makes it look. So after those have completely dried, I'm going to take a couple of these Jenga block pieces from the Dollar Tree, glue them together, and I'm going to use this to attach my arrows to my bases. Obviously, you can paint them if you wanted. I didn't even think of this as I was painting my stuff, so I'll probably have to go back and paint it later. Now I have some of this garland, and I want to say that I picked this up from Hobby Lobby maybe. I just wrapped it a couple times around a paint bottle, and I'm just going to use that to make a wreath. So I just tie the ends together, wrap it around my wreath, and then I also have these berry ties that I also got from Hobby Lobby, and they're out right now with their Christmas stuff, and that's where I picked them up in their Christmas section. And I'm just taking some of those and wrapping them around my wreath so they look like they have little berries on it. I'm doing that for both of my wreaths, and then I will hot glue those to my arrows so they look like little houses. And then I'm also cutting down those popsicle sticks and hot gluing those to the front, and you have these adorable little rustic houses that you made out of Dollar Tree supplies. And I think by adding a couple different touches from other stores really takes your Dollar Tree DIYs to a whole different level. I just think that these turned out so adorable. For this DIY, I'm going to grab one of these tags that you can get from the Dollar Tree. They always have different tags out for all their different seasons, so if you can't find this one specifically, that's okay. And then I'm also going to use some paper from my Farmhouse Christmas pack that is now available on my website. I have a whole bunch of Christmas papers and stencils and all sorts of fun Christmas paper items. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave it linked down below. But I'm going to take this piece. I love the wood background, and then with the flowers, I just think that it was so pretty. So I'm going to start by flipping it on its back, and we're going to use the back as the front. I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in white, and I'm just going to paint a section of it right in the middle. I did try to go a little bit further than what I needed just so that I'd have enough space for what I've needed. So I probably painted a good, third of the piece in this white. I'm also going to take this veneer strip that I got from Amazon, and I just cut 2 pieces the same size, so it's going to be the width of your tag. And then I'm going to prep my white paint with some surface wax from CRICUT because I am going to be using one of their transfers. I'm going to use this Noel one that comes in this pack. I think this one is really pretty. So I just tried to center this on top of the white as best as I could. And then I took a bunch of washi tape and covered up any of the spots that I didn't want to get this paste on. And I believe this is just the paste in crimson. And I'm just going to cover the whole word in this. I just wanted the letters. I didn't want any of the other design. So I'm just taking my time and slowly going around it and adding the red crimson onto the letters with the squeegee. Once it's done, you can lift up your transfer to reveal your word all nicely printed on top of your tag, which I love. And then I'm going to take some of this gel voodoo stain from Dixie Belle and stain those 2 veneer pieces that we cut out. I'm going to take that paper from my website and I'm just going to start cutting this down. I'm going to cover the top half and the bottom half with this paper, and I just used a glue stick in the beginning, but I will say that Mod Podge worked a whole lot better just because I did put that wax on top of the paint, so the glue stick did not want to stick to the waxy paint. So if you're going to use some wax, I would say use some Mod Podge instead. So I just added my paper to the bottom, cut off the excess, and then used Mod Podge for the top and added my paper to that, and then used an X-Acto knife to go around the paper and cut the tag out. Next, for my veneer pieces, now these do have an adhesive on the back. It's kind of like hot glue is already on the back of these, which makes it really nice. All you have to do is heat it up. So I just take my heat gun and run it over there. I just push my finger down on top of it to make it stick. You want to make sure that you're using something to protect your finger because it does get quite hot. So I just use that as a border on the top and the bottom. And then I'm going to take my Waverly Wax and Antique and I'm just going to go around the entire thing. I wanted this to look very rustic, and I loved the little added, kind of texture that it gave around the entire thing. And it also blended in the white paper on the side with the rest of the brown on the paper. And I just went through and distressed the entire thing. Lastly, I'm going to take some of this ribbon that I believe that I got from Michael's in a pack last year, and I'm just going to tie this in a really simple shoelace type bow, and I'm going to hot glue it to the top of my tag, and that is it for this DIY. For this DIY, I'm going to take one of these cutting board signs from the Dollar Tree, also one of these 2023 home calendars from the Dollar Tree. Now, I just took a piece of some paper and hot glued it to the back because I did not want to deal with any of that glitter. So to cover up the back and make it so that you're not getting glitter everywhere, just go ahead and glue some paper to it, cut it out using your X-Acto knife, and you're good to go. I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in moss, and I'm going to mostly focus this towards the top and the handle. In fact, I probably went down way further than I needed to, so you're mostly just going to want to cover up that handle. I'm going to take this Merry Christmas picture from that calendar. I'm going to cut that out, and then I am going to glue this to my cutting board. Now, this did go pretty much all the way up, so like I said, you do not need to go down that far with your paint, and I just glued this to the cutting board. You could use Mod Podge if you wanted, but this time the glue stick worked just fine. I'm going to go around the entire thing with my X-Acto knife, just cutting off all of the excess calendar. And then I'm going to take this burlap ribbon that I have. I believe this came from burlapfabric.com. And I'm going to wrap this around the top. I'm just going to hot glue it to the back, and I'll just take each piece, pulling it nice and tight and hot gluing it down. I layered it with some more of this Christmas ribbon that I got from Michael's and just did the exact same thing, just hot gluing it in the back. And then I took some twine and I'm making a bow with it. So I'm going to take 2 of my fingers and wrap it around a good, probably about 5 to 6 times. And then taking an excess piece of twine, wrapping it around the middle and tying it in a knot. And then I did want the middle to look a little bit more chunky, so I just continued to wrap the twine around the middle, probably a good 5 times, tying it in a double knot in the back, and then hot gluing it to the top of my cutting board. And that is it for this one. For this DIY, I had a bunch of these beachy houses left over from summertime, so I decided to get these out and do some DIYs with them. I'm just going to take 2 of them, pop those roof pieces off on the front, and we are going to use the back as the front for these ones. I'm going to take this Dixie Belle paint in Barn Red, and I'm going to paint the entire thing in this color. And then for my other house, I'm just going to use my Waverly chalk paint in white. Now I'm going to prep my houses by using the Chalkator surface wax. I do this so that when I use my transfers on top of it, they're much less likely to bleed. And then I also wanted to give the houses a little bit more detail, so I'm just taking this ruler that I have and a pencil, and I'm just going and drawing some lines on it, so it kind of makes it look like there are some faux shiplap lines on there. Now I'm going to take this transfer that has a whole bunch of different designs on it. It's one of my favorites, and I just cut a couple of those designs out. I'm going to add them to my houses, and I just tried to center those as best as I could. For the red house, I'm going to use my Chalkator paste in white, and I just apply that on with my squeegee. You just want to make sure that you're not leaving too thick of a layer on there. Before you pull it off, you want to try to scrape off as much of that paste as you possibly can, and then you will pull your transfer off to reveal this really pretty image. And then for my white house, I'm using the chalk paste in Pesto, and I think this one looks so pretty as well. So you just want to make sure you're scraping off as much paste as you can, remove that transfer, and then make sure you wash your transfers afterwards so that you can use them again. Lastly, I'm just reattaching those roof pieces that we pulled off the front, and I'm attaching those to the back. And that is it for this DIY. This was really simple and super fast and easy to do. Maybe took me like 10 to 15 minutes, mostly just waiting for the paint to dry, and that's it. I love these super quick and easy projects, especially as a mom of 3 and a small business owner. Quicker and easier the projects, the better. And I think these turned out super cute. And that's it for today's video. Let me know which project was your favorite in the comments down below. I have some more fun Christmas DIYs coming this week from Hobby Lobby that I'm really excited for. They have a whole bunch of fun Christmas crafting items out right now, and they are 50% off, so keep an eye out for that video this week. Don't forget to subscribe before you guys leave. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!